police officer facing criminal charges related to a violent arrest that took place more than 2 years ago.
The state police conducting their own investigation and now saying the officer used excessive force while fighting with the man on the ground, hitting him multiple times and putting his knee on the man's neck after he was handcuffed. This is a picture of the man after his arrest with a broken nose. The whole thing was caught on camera, but the police union tonight is fighting back, standing by their officers, saying he was in danger and did the right thing. CBS 12's Jay O'Brien has all of it covered for us tonight. Jay?
Yeah, Liz, Jim, good evening. All of this happened more than 2 years ago in November of 2019, but it is just coming to light now because of a video that was circulating around social media. That is what caused the West Palm Beach Police Department, which had already looked into this case and cleared the officer, to call the Florida Department of Law Enforcement in to investigate. And those investigators found evidence in a surveillance video that we are about to show you that they say shows excessive force. It all started here at the Food Plus grocery store in West Palm Beach. Two police officers responding to a trespassing incident and confronting a man named John Monroe. This video shows part of that encounter, posted to social media by an attorney representing Monroe. It shows Monroe pulled to the ground, lying on his back on top of a police officer who's hitting him repeatedly in the head. That officer, Nicholas Lordi, now facing battery charges after the Florida Department of Law Enforcement reviewed the video and determined the officer used excessive force, striking Monroe more than 11 times and placing a knee on his head after he was in handcuffs. Monroe's mugshot showing him bloody and bruised after the altercation. But this video from Monroe's attorney appears to skip right after the 64-year-old is seen struggling with officers on the hood of this squad car. What it doesn't show is this moment seen on a longer 9-minute YouTube clip that appears to show the whole altercation. There's no audio, but you can see Monroe flailing his arms near another officer's leg. He's then pulled to the ground, and that's when the punches start. In a statement, the union representing West Palm Beach police officers is standing behind Officer Lordi, saying he acted within the law and that Monroe was reaching for an officer's gun, adding the officer was protecting himself, his partner, and the public.
Justice.
Meanwhile, in a press conference today, Monroe saying he's relieved. His lawyers believe the officer's arrest vindicates their client, who spent more than 20 days in jail after the incident.
Those statements that he grabbed for the gun, that he was attacking the officers, were untrue based on the video and contradicted by the video.
Okay. Anything else?
We wanted to ask the chief of police about this case at a community policing meeting tonight, but a spokesperson said to direct all questions to the FDLE. Now, you saw in that video there are two officers, and those lawyers for the man in question here, they want that other officer charged as well because he did not step in, but we have no indication right now that that other officer is being investigated.
Now, and today on CBS 12 News, the I-Team is exploring problems inside our hospitals. And one of the most alarming is how vulnerable these facilities are to hackers.
The U.S. intelligence community first issued a warning about this in 2020. Since then, 6 groups, many from Russia, have been relentless in going after medical centers all over the country.
Yeah, this is scary stuff, and the consequences can be deadly here. Here's CBS 12 News I-Team Chief Investigator Mike Magnoli.
Cyber attacks are on the rise, not only by unsophisticated attackers, but also by state-sponsored groups.
Richard Stout is a retired FBI agent, formerly based in the Miami field office, now a private security consultant, and technical security is his specialty. Florida has 325 hospitals. Stout says every one of them is looked at as a potential target by hackers.
They attack the network, and there's many doors, there's many cyber doors to that network, and they just look for the one with the least locks on it.
In Alabama, in July of 2019, hackers breached the Springfield Medical Center in Mobile. Authorities haven't said if the suspects are foreign or domestic, but whoever they are, they created a perfect storm inside the hospital computers. A woman who went into the hospital to deliver her baby is now suing. She says the hospital should have told her about the hack and how it was impacting operations. Her lawsuit claims the monitors at nurses' stations weren't working, and while her baby was in distress, The suit says the nurses were unaware, unable to see the baby's vitals in real time. The suit alleges that the child later died from complications of that failure. And that hospital is just one of many to fall victim to cyber criminals.
Our company and our technology has the means to see who is actually in the throes of an attack. And in a very quick search, I was able to find 3 very large hospitals within Florida that were being impacted presently as we speak.
Kareem Hijazi runs a cybersecurity company called Prevalian. It specializes in threat assessment. Put simply, Hijazi hacks other hackers, infiltrating their networks to find what targets they're going after next. And he's also looking for clues about who the hackers are. Hijazi says one group, known as Fin12, is at least partly made up of Russian operatives. That's because there's written language inside some of the ransomware packages, and experts can tell what kind of keyboard the author used.
I think that it's a highly probable and high confidence assumption to make that there is Russian-speaking actors involved here, whether they are actually in Russia specifically or working out of neighboring states or proxying through locations. That's also a possibility.
When a cyber attack on a hospital disrupts patient care, that puts hackers in a position to demand a hefty ransom, and fast. A suspected ransomware attack in October 2020 forced the University of Vermont to delay chemotherapy appointments. Last August, ransomware crippled the emergency room at Memorial Health in Marietta, Ohio. The staff moved ER patients to other facilities and diverted all incoming ambulances. And one of the most high-profile hospital cyber attacks happened in 2016. Back then, ransomware was still new. Hollywood Presbyterian Medical Center paid 40 bitcoins, about $17,000 at the time, to the hackers. And the hospital explained it this way, quote, "The quickest and most efficient way to restore our systems and administrative functions was to pay the ransom and to obtain the decryption key. In the best interest of restoring normal operations, we did this."
It's a fertile environment for these actors to go after. And Florida being a hub for medical treatments, it's going to be an obvious zone that these actors are going to target.
Sure, and in the next hour, we're going to explore another concern. Shutting down hospitals for ransom is just one motivation, but some of the groups out there aren't looking for ransom at all. They want patients' personal information. And if you've ever been to a hospital, you know those computers have all of your medical history, your social security number, billing address, and emergency contacts. So Matt Ashley hospitals are like shopping malls for identity thieves.